Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to First Parish Church in Billerica, a Unitarian Universalist welcoming congregation. Whoever you are and wherever you are in life's journey, you're welcome here this morning. And although we don't have a coffee hour, we can't do food, we can chat in the outside after the service a bit. This is our first in-person service, I was thinking since March of 2020. So, wow. And we're going to continue showing it by Zoom online as well. So this is our first hybrid service. So we will probably have some glitches, so please be patient with us. We have a bunch of precautions, of course. We ask that everybody wear a mask and practice social distancing. Also, unfortunately, we're being cautious about singing inside. During the hymns, the people in the sanctuary, we can't sing even masked yet. So you can hum along. People on Zoom, though, at home, they can sing along, but please mute still at home, otherwise we'll all hear you. My name is Brita. I'm going to be the worship assistant for today's service. And our worship leader this morning is Reverend Nannene Gowdy. She was our minister for a number of years. She is just a wonderful preacher. We are just so happy to have her with us here this morning in our first in-person service in all this time. Are there any announcements? Our RE director, Elisa? Oh, Jimmy, do we have a microphone? Uh-oh. Here's our first glitch.
Hello, my name is Lisa Jameson. I'm the Director of Religious Education for First Parish Church. I apologize if you can't hear me clearly. I just wanted to announce that religious education will now be in person, just like the services. I do need volunteers. Due to our safe congregation policies, we always have to have 2 adults with the children at all times. So if you're interested in being a second person in the RE program during services, please come see me, or you can call me or email me to let me know that you're interested. We will probably, at least for the first few weeks that we are together, start up in the sanctuary and then go downstairs either to the parish hall or outside and hold RE there because there's more space. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Are there any other announcements? Possibly our president has things to say. Barbara? No? Okay. I don't see any other announcements. Okay.
There will be, yes.
I didn't.
Just very quickly, there's going to be a board meeting Thursday, I think it's the 11th, this Thursday coming.
Board meeting on Thursday. Okay.
Yeah, the board meetings are going to all be over Zoom.
Over Zoom. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. Any other announcements? Okay. Sarah? Did you?
This is mostly directed to our friends and family and community in Zoom land. If you have a joy or concern later on, please send it to me in the chat. We have a monitor up on the screen, up on the front of the table, so your joy or concern can be read out loud so the people in the sanctuary will understand what you have on your mind and we want to share. But to work through the sound issues of Zoom and all of the different places that can pick up, I'd ask that you keep muted. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Any other announcements? Okay. I just wanted to start by During the Indigenous Peoples Service, we added a new component to our worship, which is a land acknowledgement. So we would like to begin by acknowledging that our church is built on the unceded traditional territory of the Pawtucket and Massachusetts people. We also acknowledge the physical and spiritual connection that they have continued to maintain with their land here in this place we call Billerica. We recognize the hardships they continue to endure and commit ourselves to learning about our Indigenous neighbors and to fostering good relationships with them. Okay. Sorry.
Since we have not been together for some time in person, there are a few things that we still need to work out. And one of them is whether everybody is going to be saying the chalice lighting or not. They are. Okay, so singing no, talking yes. All right. Please join me then in the chalice lighting, which is in your order of service. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glories and the mysteries of this great gift. We arrive out of many singular rooms, walking over the branching streets. We come to be assured that brothers and sisters surround us to restore their image on our eyes. We enlarge our voices in common speaking, but not singing today. We try again that solitude found in the midst of those with us who seek their hidden reckonings. Our eyes reclaim the remembered faces, their voices stir the surrounding air. The warmth of their hands assures us, and the gladness of our spoken names. This is the reason of cities, of homes, of assemblies in the houses of worship. It is good to be with one another again. Let's join in humming along. Hymn number 361. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Let's join together in the affirmation of faith, which is in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God. This is a time in our service when we share our joys and concerns with one another. Some of you will recognize the reading. It's a November favorite. Let us give thanks for a bounty of people, for generous friends with smiles as bright as their blossoms, for feisty friends as tart as apples, for contentious friends who, like scallions and cucumbers, keep reminding us that we've had them. For crotchety friends as sour as rhubarb and as indestructible. For handsome friends who are as gorgeous as eggplants and as elegant as a row of corn, and the others as plain as potatoes and as good for you. For friends as unpretentious as cabbage, as subtle as summer squash, as persistent as parsley, as endless as zucchini, and who, like parsnips, can be counted on to see you through the winter. For old friends nodding like sunflowers in the evening time. For young friends who wind around us like tendrils and hold us. We give thanks for friends now gone, like gardens past that have been harvested, but who fed us in their times that we might live.
Our Unitarian Universalist churches are self-supporting. Your gifts of time, faith, love, and of money is what sustains the work of the church. The morning's offering will now be taken and gratefully accepted.
Violent crime, including murder, is on the increase in the United States. Countries with high crime rates tend to have two things in common: high poverty and low gun control. The United States doesn't have the extreme poverty of a country like Haiti, but we do have lax gun laws, and they are getting more permissive all the time. Gun purchases have also escalated dramatically in the past year. Certainly, all of this is contributing to our rise in violent crime. This year, we have witnessed a violent attack on our capital, not by foreign adversaries, but by our own citizens. Our neighbors are attacking one another at school meetings, political rallies, and on planes. Not surprisingly, our children are copying our behavior and attacking each other, their teachers, and a principal in Boston was beaten unconscious at school this week. In the quote in your order of service, Malcolm X observed that the acceptance of violence in this country is what was responsible for the assassination of President John Kennedy in Dallas. Our chickens, Malcolm X said, had come home to roost. As a Black man in the United States, he had seen more than his share of violence. He knew full well that the lynchings of Blacks was still going on. In fact, it would be 8 more years in 1981 before lynchings in the United States ended. As we know, that was hardly the end of sanctioned violence against Black people. In this country, we have glorified violence. As a child, I was still playing cowboys and Indians and watching movies where everyone cheered when the cavalry arrived to slaughter the Indians. Our movies and video games are full of violence. Professional sports often disappoints fans if a fight doesn't break out. We have endless war memorials and not one honoring peace. The battle cry, "Remember the Alamo," honors a shrine in Texas where Davy Crockett and Jim Bowie of Bowie knife fame and other men from the United States died trying to violently take territory away from Mexico. We have become so used to living with violence that we think nothing of the fact that a nuclear attack could happen at any time. Nor do we worry daily that the doomsday clock is set at 100 seconds to midnight. Our children are slaughtered in school by guns, and we can't even ban assault rifles to stop it. There are reasons why our situation has gotten worse lately. One is that we had a president who openly encouraged violence by his supporters. At rally after rally, he urged his supporters to kick out protesters, saying, "I don't care how you do it." Another reason is that COVID has increased our stress levels, thereby raising our free-floating anger. These factors have had lethal results. It has taken us centuries in this country to get to this state of affairs, and it will not be fixed quickly. However, I firmly believe that if we don't start on a corrective path, our democracy is going to fail. I know I am not alone in this belief. One thing we need to do is to show that there are consequences for violent acts. The non-action by members of Congress who just want to move on and ignore the January 6th insurrections is wrong and sends the wrong message to those considering future acts of violence. Those who invaded the Capitol and caused death and mayhem should be called to account. Unbelievably, at least 8 of those anti-democracy insurrectionists have since been elected to office. Those who have wantonly killed unarmed blacks should be charged with murder. Anything else is sanctioned lynching. People who attack flight attendants. My sister Carla is an American airline flight attendant, and my sister Abby was one for Delta. They should never be allowed to fly again. At the very least, let's make it possible for airlines to share their no-fly lists with one another so that these violent people can't just airline hop and assault other flight attendants. Violence against women should be taken seriously and not dismissed as a typical domestic dispute between couples. Children have been sexually abused, yes, even in UU churches. And these crimes have been swept under the rug for generations. Until these acts of violence are treated as the serious crimes that they are, they will only continue. We have enough laws already to prosecute these crimes, but we often lack the will. How often have we heard that we shouldn't prosecute a college rapist or an athlete because it would ruin his promising career? How often has a family member who abused a child not been prosecuted because it would tear the family apart? What about the frequent hitter with the hot temper who is nice enough once they cool down? Shouldn't we be protecting the victim first and then doing something to help the perpetrator? We so often seem to be doing just the opposite. I felt encouraged when the Black Lives Matter movement began calling the police to account for their unnecessary violence. People taking videos of what was really happening was eye-opening to many. But then COVID hit, and the forward momentum to correct these injustices lost power. I hope we can get back to correcting injustices like these. As more people become aware of how widespread these injustices are, I pray that there will be energy to correct them also. It is in taking steps like these that our country can be saved from itself. The first step, of course, should be for all of us to examine our own behavior and ask, what do I do to increase hostility? How can I help de-escalate the violence in our society? Until we do this, asking ourselves the hard questions, we won't be able to take the second step, which is to help others curb themselves and learn more peaceful ways of interacting with others. Let there be peace on earth, I pray, and let it begin with me. The closing hymn, "This Is My Song," is one that crosses nationalities and is one that I have always found deeply moving. As you sing it, hum it. Think about other countries where this song could be sung word for word. This is my song.
This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and mine. This is my home, the country where my heart is. Here are my hopes, my dreams, my holy shrine. But other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams as true and high as mine. My country's skies are bluer than the ocean, and sunlight beams on clover leaf and pine. But other lands have sunlight too and clover, and skies are everywhere as blue as mine. Oh, hear my song, oh God of all the nations, a song of peace for them and for mine.
Let's join together in the words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Today, I am turning the benediction over to Mahalia Jackson. At the Newport Jazz Festival in 1970, she sang the hymn, "Let There Be Peace on Earth." This had been a fervent desire of Mahalia Jackson's for many years, and it found expression in this song. She was not allowed to sing in Washington, D.C. once because the Daughters of the American Revolution stopped her from singing at an event because she was Black. Eleanor Roosevelt, who also knew something about there being peace on earth, invited Mahalia Jackson to sing at the White House. So in her honor, she closes today's service. Be peace on earth and yeah, with me. Be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. Has gone, and our Father, brother, are we. Let me walk with my brother in a place beyond there be peace on earth. Let this be the moment now. We every step I take, let this be my song. Each moment, each moment, and peace eternity. On this earth,